All right, so yes, captivating and interesting interview is what we bring you right here on Ghbase. Of course, as always, we make it happen for you right here on your screens. My name is DN, and today, guess what? Yes, we paid a visit to one of Ghana's best entertainment critic. I mean, his office actually. I mean, we're not in the studio, we're not anywhere. But from lunchtime, we just have to pass through and then see the man, Arnold Asamoah Beidu. Big boss himself.
How
You're good?
I'm good. It's good to see you guys here.
Yeah, yes. We're here at your office. People think Arnold is just on TV doing entertainment, and that's all he does.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here at airport. Actually, happens to be one of the chief
Safety
inspectors.
Yeah.
Wow, what's your job here?
Because usually I do not really, when it comes to entertainment arenas, I do not want to discuss.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and that's probably the reason a lot of people do not know that I also have a job function at the airport or at civil aviation. But I mean, a lot guys are getting to know, and so it's only appropriate.
Exactly. Because I do see in your post. I mean, first time people got to know, like you posted, you been at the airport, you working, and I was like, what's happening? People thought you were even flying.
Yeah, so I actually work with pilots. I work with everybody or anybody that works in and around the aircraft. So I actually license the pilots, license the air hostess. Now we call them cabin crew. I license the engineers who work on the aircraft as well. I license everybody who works on the pilot and the cabin crew. So that's basically my job.
That's a tight job. But then between the two, entertainment and I mean, you being a safety inspector, which one would you choose? Which one is your crazy love? I mean, all day when you wake up, you want to do this.
That's a trick question. Because if I answer this question, those guys in aviation would be looking at me in a certain way.
Okay.
And those guys in entertainment would also be looking in a certain way. So I would skip that answer.
It's difficult to choose.
It's not really difficult. I know my answer. But
so let them know
I'm not too sure how
people are going to
people will take it. My colleagues or my superiors from the two arenas will take my answer.
Right.
But what I know is I love both. I started entertainment before I joined civil aviation, or I joined working at the airport, and so clearly, you
that should tell us the first love.
I started entertainment. I mean, just like you guys, I found it when I was a kid. My affinity to entertainment was born at a very tender age, and so clearly, entertainment takes a very soft spot in my heart.
Let's talk about your business on most of the TV shows, the platform, Entertainment Critic. What was that one critic that you made that when you went home after the show was like, I didn't say this well, I didn't make that correct statement. I mean, I should have said this or that.
Yeah.
Which of them?
Yeah, I think it's been over 10 years, and I'm not sure you guys were into entertainment at the time. So it was about, at the time I was the editor for Weekly Thriller. Weekly Thriller was one of the biggest entertainment newspapers at the time, 2006 and 2007.
Okay.
And so we did a story about Kobna, because it was Kobna's first marriage breakup.
Okay.
And so we had an exclusive which spoke to the first wife. And so when we did the story, Kobna obviously would not like the story. And so Kobna had friends in the media. I remember Laurentia Thompson. She was the manager of Samini, then Batman.
Laurentia Dua now.
No, she was Laurentia Dua at the time.
And now she's
Laurentia Thompson.
Okay.
And so he went on TV3, and TV3 had a show with Pramai. And so she went in there, and she actually disrespected the newspaper, which I was the editor. And that, Weekly Thriller is a lowbrow newspaper, and so people should not really take the paper in. And I was pissed. I was extremely pissed because it took us a lot of effort, a lot of hard work to get even that exclusive. And so in my anger, I went and did an editorial. And I gave it to her.
I see.
I gave it to her bad. So after the article, it was a bad article. I even wrote and made a lot of wild allegations. The fact that she even slept with Samini and all that stuff.
You wrote all that?
I wrote all that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I wrote all that.
You made a report that she slept with Samini.
It was that bad. We are friends now. I mean, we became friends after a couple of times. But when my article came out, there was a lot of backlash. Because one, it looked that I was attacking a lady. I mean, I was a guy. I was attacking a lady. And so, in retrospect, I went back and was like, I think I shouldn't have let my anger led me into writing that article. So after a couple of days, I texted her and said, listen, it was anger that drove me to give you that reply, so I'm sorry. And so that's one I really had regret for that.
All right.
There's a few others, but
this one is the most.
yeah. That one was deep. I really had regrets for
I
penning that.
I mean, you've learned. I mean, all this years. So, how long have you been in the industry?
Professionally, I've been in the industry for close to 15 years.
Wow, close to 15
Yeah.
years. I mean, you've learned. Well, let's still talk about the. I mean, one of the widest shows that people got to know you on. This happens to be the UTV United Showbiz show. And apart from your dance move that people are like, they dislike about you, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think you've done right to gain some of the love from Ghanaian public? I mean, it looks like your criticisms and you check social media trends, and it looks like people like the way you criticize. How do you go about it?
Okay, so first of all, I'm very objective.
Okay. Which is difficult.
Yeah.
I know.
Because in our space, see, our industry, money knows that day and stuff like that. And so the likelihood that you might be in the camp of a certain artist or in a certain group or a certain campaign is easy. And so once you are in their books, it's very difficult to criticize them. So in my years of being in this industry, I've tried as much as possible to stay away from affiliation with the artists and with the labels and with the camps and all that stuff. And so that has really helped me. So I don't really give a damn about what you think or where you are coming from and all that stuff. I need to say it as it is. And so even if you are my friend, even of course, in this industry with all these years, definitely I'll make friends. But I do not care. I mean, and so I've been very objective over the period. And the other thing that has helped me is research.
Okay.
Because I believe as a critic or as an analyst, you can just not go on any platform and spew whatever. You must back it up with facts. Okay. Back it up with some empirical evidence and all that stuff. And so I take research very seriously. Even if you don't give me the topic, what has also helped me as my experience in the industry. Okay. And so you can bring up a topic. I might not know, but based on my experience and what I know, I can give you a very correct answer. And so my objectivity, my bluntness, and my ability to research has really aided me.
Because I've watched you on United Showbiz. I mean, the likes of Shatawale has been on that show, Top Boy, and a host of top artists. Yeah. And then trust me, I've been on TV doing this. Then when you see this artist, I know how we say things to just favor them. Yeah. But when Arnold is there, it looks like he doesn't care. No. And then if you make a loose statement, he's just going to put you straight down. Yeah. No, this is what you're supposed to do. Which is very difficult. And then it might attract haters from the company.
Every time. And actually, before United Showbiz, I started with radio. And so I do Peace FM Entertainment Review. I've done it for 13 years plus. And so that attitude has been my radio attribute for a long time. And so I didn't even see why I should change when UTV came about. I mean, so it's been like that. And so most of my colleagues, like you said, when the artist is in the studio, they're like pussyfooting and all that stuff. No. You're not going to allow that. Because in my mindset is the artist doesn't buy cocoa for me. And so,
but don't you think you might need favor from this artist? I mean, in the near future, so that you bash them right in front of TV.
I don't bash them. It depends on the situation. Because if you are wrong, you are wrong. I don't see why I should sugarcoat the truth or I should sugarcoat the facts. And so I have never compromised on my principle of always being truthful. And for some reason, the artists, some do like it. Because mind you, I mean, you know that you are wrong. So when you come to the platform and people are praising you for something that you've done wrong, when you go back home, you actually give props to the person who actually told you the truth. And so yes, all of these artists, when they come on UTV, the first thing they tell me is, I don't like you. Because of you I come. But before they leave, they develop some likeness for me. And I'm like, okay. Because they like it. They don't always like the praise, especially when it's fake praise. They don't really vibe to it.
You're real to them. All right. We're still here on Ghbase, one-on-one with Arnold To Mr, one of Ghana's biggest entertainment critic. Let's talk about how you got a spot on the show. I mean, it started new. Let's walk us through. I mean, there are a lot of entertainment pundits and all that, and to get that chance, and still you're permanent on that show. That's true. Tell us how you got that spot and how you maintain your permanent role.
Okay, so the show was actually originally done. The concept was for celebrities.
Okay.
So celebrities will come and then they will have their interaction based on what topic that comes up. Then at a point, the producers decided to change, because you cannot stay with one concept for a long time. You need to always, tinker with the concept a bit. And so they decided to bring in some few commentators or analysts or panelists to complement the celebs who will come on the show. And I happen to be one of those people that were chosen. And clearly, you know why. And so, and also because of, I wouldn't say because of my affiliation with Despite Media, because I've been on Peace FM for a long time.
But it looks like this show really just, gave us, a huge platform.
Yeah. I mean, UTV is huge. Yeah. And the show goes very far. I mean, I get messages from people from Canada, Alaska, Australia, and a lot of places. And so I cannot dispute the fact that UTV, United Showbiz, is what has really propelled my name to that height. Exactly. Yeah. So as for my choice, I mean, that is a question for the producers, but the little I know is based on my experience and my expertise in the industry. And I'm sure after my first 2 appearances, if I didn't deliver, they would have said, relax more.
I was watching myself.
But yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about the industry. I mean, BET is here, another year, no nomination. This is very sad for the country.
It's not.
No, why?
Why should we be sad?
I mean, this. Look at the Nigerians in there, number of Nigerians in there. We don't even have
2.
We don't even have 1.
Yeah. Okay, so you are worried. I mean, I've gotten to that point where if we do not have a nomination, I don't give a damn about it.
But artists they should be worried.
It depends on the artist. Because let's even use the Nigerians as a yardstick. Burna Boy and Wizkid attained nominations this year. Burna Boy for the past 3 years has been consistent getting nominations for that category alone. 2019, 2020, and 2021. Okay, so let's analyze the pedigree of Burna Boy in the last 3 years, because he has attained 3 consecutive nominations straight. Would you doubt his...
No doubt.
Exactly. So, Wizkid. Would you doubt Wizkid's inclusion in that list?
No.
Okay, good. So let's compare Burna Boy and Wizkid. Again, let's stick with the Nigerians alone. Who would you compare Burna Boy to here in Ghana, with regard to what they've been able to do in the last year?
So we have to blame our artists for
See,
not really putting it.
It's the definition for, or the criteria definition for BET's nomination is outstanding year. The artists who had the outstanding year. So in comparison,
but in last year, Stonebwoy, look at their album. I mean, international.
Is the fact that in 2010, that was the first time that we had nomination in BET's Kudjo. At the time, it was bunched together. So the best BET International Act, guys from the UK, France, wherever, and then Africa. Then in 2011, that was the first time that they did a segregation. So BET Best International Act, Africa. BET Best International Act, UK. So when they did that segregation, they gave us a lot of room. So now it's only for Africans. So you can have Ghanaians getting in there. And that's how come the likes of Sarkodie and Stonebwoy won. Because now, instead of competing with the guys from UK, France, and other countries, plus those in Africa, we're only competing with only the Africans. Then 2 years ago, they said, listen, let's bring them back again together. That's a disadvantage to us. Because now you are competing with not just your Nigerian counterparts, you are competing with the guys in the UK, the Stormzy's, the blah, blah, blah. That's tough competition. And so when it comes to awards, the shortlisting. So for all we know, Stonebwoy did made the list, but the shortlisting could not get in there. That's
But I mean, we should be sad. I mean, look at the work the boys are just putting in their songs, in their projects, and all that. But so what is wrong?
They were not outstanding.
They were not outstanding.
Yeah, outstanding means above average, above the norm.
Okay.
And for me, I think they were not outstanding. So me, I don't really mind.
Well, let's not talk about the industry. Yeah. I mean, recently there was this statement from Logic. I mean, on Hits FM platform that Yaw Tog is overrated. What's your take on that? Do you think it's the right statement? Do you think it's a wrong statement? I mean, what do you think about this?
No, that is not a correct statement. Big ups to Logic. I mean, he's been one of the instruments of this industry. But I felt that statement was out of place.
Okay.
So when you talk about an artist being overrated by who? Is it the media? Is it the industry players? Or so usually when you say artist overrated, it is really the general populace that rates that artist. So Yaw Tog in the last year has been mentioned both locally and internationally. Why are we mentioning Yaw Tog? Because he's doing something right. Maybe Logic wanted to say Yaw Tog's skill as a rapper. Akana kakra.
Exactly.
That is a different conversation. But artists, or what are we looking out for? We're looking out for attention. So if you're an artist and you're producing songs and you're not getting the mention and the attention, then you might as well go and do farming. So if Yaw Tog, as young as he is, has been able to attain the attention and the needed bars, you should be applauding him and his team.
Maybe you want to see more. You need to hear more.
One more. So if you tell me probably his rap skill is overrated, then I could say, okay, you have a point there. But even that, big man, go to US. There's mumble rap taking over in the last 10 years. Nobody is doing the Nas and the J. Cole. Yes, you still have the Nas's and the J. Cole.
They're doing them.
But the Migos and the Lil Babies and the Babies are taking over. And so rap has evolved.
Exactly, has changed.
It has changed drastically.
So maybe Logic is having a different ear.
Exactly. Maybe Charlie, because to actually get to that level of Yaw Tog is not easy.
Not a joke.
And so you should applaud the gentleman. See, it should be constructed. Big man, you've done well. Because for you to attain international exposure at this very short space of your career,
which is good.
That's awesome. Right. I mean, I don't want to mention it, but some old guys in the system, they've not got that platform.
I know, right?
And so for these young guys to actually come push.
Well, let's talk about the switch game in the media, from TV3 to multimedia to GH1 TV.
Normal.
And recently, I mean, the breaking one that happens to be Captain Smart, moving from Angel to Unia TV. I mean, what do you think about this switch?
It's a normal phenomenon. I mean, a couple of years ago, we used to have something we called poaching. Poaching was huge in the media. It's just recently that we do not really have poaching take center stage in our media landscape. But 10 years ago, poaching was like football, where, transfer markets. We used to have that on radio and television. But now, it's coming up again. It's a normal phenomenon. I mean, if you are not happy at one place, just take a hike.
I know, but I mean, people think the reaction or the way Captain is handling the whole thing, where there's more of utterances towards the former boss, where it's totally wrong.
Captain is an outspoken media personality. And if you actually analyze what transpired between him and Angel, it could have been handled properly by the management of Angel.
Okay.
Because this is, you know how you treat your prized asset. So, for example, Juventus will not come and treat Ronaldo anyhow. Barcelona would want to see would manage how they treat Messi. So, once you recognize that this is your prized asset, there's a way you go around the person. You do not come out publicly and embarrass him.
Exactly.
When you do that, an outspoken person like Smart
would just react.
Would react. And so, for me, I think they could have handled it in a very professional way. And I'm sure by now, Smart will still be with Angel.
I mean, before the interview, we did post on our social media platform, and people were saying that it looks like Bulldog give you a tough time on the show. I mean, is he one of the guys who give you the toughest moment on the show? Is he one of the guys?
Bulldog is my big brother. I mean, Bulldog
sometimes you guys go crazy on set like
Bulldog is my boss. I mean, we work together at Xylophone Music. And so, first of all, we are friends, we are colleagues. He's my big brother, he's my boss. But of course, and he's a very tough guy. Very, very tough. Very, very outspoken as well. And he speaks his mind. But Boo, because of where he is and the kind of job he does, he would always want to veer towards the artist. And people, big man, like I said earlier, you don't feel it. You don't really cuckoo.
You don't care about it.
So we'll always clash. But at the end of the day, it's opinion sharing.
All right. So from afar, who's your best? I mean, this happens in my last but one question. From afar, who's your best entertainment critic apart from Arnold? Asamoah Beidou. From afar, who would you say you're home and you love to listen to his critic about entertainment?
Okay, so there's a gentleman. He's been in the industry for a long time, but in the last couple of months, he's been on George Clay's show on Joy, Jesse Japan.
Okay.
Very critical. I mean, I love him. I love Jesse Japan. You listen to Jesse Japan and you realize that this guy actually is very analytical, he's very critical, he actually does his research and is very objective. So Jesse Japan on Joy, Showbiz A to Z.
Based on thoughts.
Spot on.
Okay. Well, lastly, what do you want to say to the industry players, those who are coming up in the game, those who like to be like you, who like to be on shows to criticize as well? I mean, what do you want to say to everybody?
Well, it's not only just about criticism. I mean, it's always supposed to be corrective, constructive. You should not always wake up from your. I've always said that usually when we have banters with the artist, if you criticize an artist and the artist goes like, "Oh, this person hates me," I'm like, "Big man, I didn't wake up from my bed and say today I want to hate on Shatabali, I want to hate on Stoneboy." No, it doesn't work like that. So any critic coming up, it should not be your focus that you are going to criticize. It should always be about corrective. What are you going to do? What are you going to say? What are you going to write to actually better the industry? That should be the focus. And objectivity, bluntness, research work should be the cardinal points. Once we're able to get this in place, we're good to go.
It's a pleasure hanging out with you.
All the best, my brother. All the best.
So, Marvin, happens to, I mean, the same school.
No.
Oh, nice one. Which house?
Afedu.
I'm a second boy.
Oh, Ghbase.
Oh, yeah, they say. All right, so it has been a one-on-one with the man, another Sumabedi right here on Ghbase. Stay on.